Cities are expanding at a scale and speed never seen before. By 2050, 2 out of every 3 people in the world will live in urban areas. This shift is driven both by natural population growth within cities and by migration from rural regions. The distribution of this growth is uneven. In North America and Europe, urbanization has largely plateaued, with over 80% of people already living in cities. In contrast, Africa and Asia are experiencing rapid urban transitions. For example, Sub-Saharan Africa's urban population is expected to triple by 2050. Takoli et al., 2015. Urban growth is not just about expanding skylines. It changes the geography of social and economic life. Megacities like Lagos, Dhaka, and Mumbai dominate headlines, but much of the growth is happening in secondary and mid-sized cities, which often lack infrastructure to cope with rapid expansion. These spatial inequalities in growth create disparities in housing, transport, and access to services. One of the biggest drivers of urban expansion is migration. People leave rural areas to pursue jobs, education, and healthcare opportunities in cities. This process, called the rural-to-urban shift, has shaped every stage of modern development. Rural-to-urban migration refers to the movement of people from rural areas to cities, driven by economic factors such as better wages and job opportunities, as well as cultural attractions of urban life. This migration is a significant factor in urban growth and has varied consequences for both rural and urban populations. In India, for example, small farmers and agricultural workers increasingly migrate to cities like Indore, where they face challenges of integration and social exclusion. Agarwal, 2016. Similarly, in sub-Saharan Africa, migration has created a dual dynamic. Rural areas lose young, productive workers, while urban areas face mounting pressure to provide jobs and housing. Lohnert, 2017. Rural to urban migration does not sever ties with rural homes. Instead, migrants often maintain strong family and cultural linkages. This creates circular migration patterns, where individuals move back and forth depending on seasonal labor demands or family obligations. Imberu and Ize, 2013. The challenge for policymakers is balancing these flows, managing urban growth while supporting rural economies so that migration is a choice, not a necessity. Cities are not only growing in size, they are also becoming more diverse in terms of age, gender, and ethnicity. Most migrants are young adults, which makes cities disproportionately youthful compared to rural regions. This youth bulge can be a demographic dividend, driving labor markets, innovation, and entrepreneurship. But it can also create risks of unemployment and unrest if cities fail to absorb this growing workforce. Takoli et al., 2015. Gender dynamics are equally important. While migration was once dominated by men, women now migrate independently in increasing numbers. Female migrants often work in domestic services, manufacturing, and informal sectors, highlighting both their agency and their vulnerability in urban economies. Imberu and Ize, 2013. Cities also bring together diverse ethnic and cultural groups. In some cases, this fosters multicultural vibrancy, economic growth, and cosmopolitan identities. But in others, it results in segregation, ethnic islands, and struggles over resources and recognition. Lohnert, 2017. In short, the demographic composition of cities is central to understanding both their challenges and their potential. For instance, Manila had roughly equal numbers of males and females, with a median age of 27.4 years, indicating a youthful population, with the largest age group being 20 to 29-year-olds in 2020. The population is largely of Filipino descent, with a diverse mix of ethnicities present due to internal migration from various regions of the Philippines, including Bicolano, Visayan, and Ilocano groups, as well as a significant Chinese-Filipino population, especially within the historic Binondo Chinatown. As cities expand, one of the most visible challenges is the rise of informal settlements, commonly referred to as slums. Over 1 billion people worldwide now live in such communities. Informal settlements emerge when housing demand outpaces supply, especially for low-income populations. They are marked by inadequate housing, poor sanitation, insecure land tenure, and limited access to water, electricity, and education. Takoli et al., 2015. In Indore, India, slum dwellers face systemic social exclusion, often marginalized by caste, religion, or economic status. Agarwal, 2016. In Nairobi, Kenya, older migrants maintain strong rural-urban ties, even while living in informal settlements, reflecting resilience and adaptation strategies in marginalized environments. Mberu and Ize, 2013. While slums are often stigmatized, they are also centers of innovation and vibrant community life. Informal economies thrive here, with residents creating their own systems of trade, social support, and governance. Recognizing these strengths while addressing deficits is key to creating inclusive urban futures. Slum is generally defined as an area within the city, which has a high density of thinly populated individuals residing under poor living conditions and substandard houses. Slums usually have one or more of the following characteristics as defined by UN Habitat. The major characteristics of slums can be summarized as follows. 1. Location to urban areas. Most slums are situated within cities, often very close to industrial zones or central business districts, where land is cheaper but living conditions are poor. 2. High population density. Overcrowding is a defining feature, with multiple families sometimes forced to share a single small room or dwelling. 3. Legal recognition. Or lack of recognition. While some slums fall under municipal or state government oversight, many remain unrecognized and considered illegal settlements, leaving residents vulnerable to eviction and lacking secure tenure. 4. Economic deprivation. Slum dwellers are typically engaged in informal, low-paying jobs, perpetuating a cycle of poverty. Unlike the term slum, which usually refers to the most congested and unlivable urban conditions, the concept of an informal settlement is broader, covering a range of housing situations in both urban and peri-urban environments. The key features of informal settlements include 1. Absence of regulation. Construction and land use often occur outside legal frameworks, violating zoning and planning rules. 2. Self-built housing. Most homes are constructed by residents themselves, typically using cheap or improvised materials, and they frequently lack essential services such as electricity, clean water, and waste management. 3. Diverse economic profiles. While the majority of residents are low-income households, informal settlements can also include middle-income families seeking more affordable housing options, highlighting the economic diversity within these communities. In the U.S., urbanization has taken the form of sprawling metropolitan regions such as New York City, Los Angeles, and Chicago. By 2020, over 82% of Americans lived in urban areas. Suburbanization, driven by highways, car ownership, and housing demand, spread populations beyond dense city cores. This model reflects advanced urbanization, where infrastructure and planning expand alongside population growth. Asia is the world's fastest urbanizing region. In China, cities like Shanghai and Shenzhen have grown from small towns to megacities within decades, fueled by industrialization and global trade. Similarly, Mumbai and Delhi in India have expanded rapidly, driven by rural-to-urban migration, creating both economic opportunities and large-scale informal settlements. This demonstrates urbanization under intense demographic and economic pressure. In the Philippines, nearly half the population now lives in urban areas, with Metro Manila as the largest urban agglomeration, home to more than 13 million people. Urban growth has also spread to Cebu and Davao, reflecting the rise of secondary cities. However, this rapid growth outpaces infrastructure, leading to congestion, pollution, and the expansion of informal settlements, an urbanization pattern common across developing nations. Thank you very much.